back, guys. Want to have kind of maybe a final look at this little Armalite. If you guys remember, started out as a base M4 model with kind of standard M4 configuration. Did a previous review on it, and that rifle was $415. That was where we started out at. Continuing forward with this sort of budget build, I want to do a lot of the same modifications to it that you guys would do to your rifle. The generic American Joe Blow that had some knowledge in what they wanted to do with the rifle. I wanted to follow that same sort of direction. So what we did is we started out, we'll just start from back and go to the front. I added a LWRC compact stock. This is not the ultra compact, this is just the standard compact. But the compact stock uses a standard military receiver extension, standard buffer. And it's just, to me, an all-around nice stock. It fits well. There's nothing there you don't need. It's small from toe to top, and it just works really well every time. And I really like these stocks. And I needed the QD feature. QD feature for the sling that we'll be adding. As always, we go for Vickers Blue Force Gear sling. Love those slings. We'll have the push button swivels on that. That's on the way. It's not in yet, but that's a sling that it'll end up getting. GMAC, fresh paint. We Cerakoted this just to do something different. Didn't really factor this into the cost because I did it myself as a Cerakote applicator, but we went with a burnt bronze and then a custom burnt bronze that was a little darker over the top to give it kind of a ghosted appearance. You guys can probably see that pretty good in this sunlight. But anyway, that doesn't add anything to the function of the gun. We just thought it looked kind of cool. I want to do something special with it. Pistol grip, Tango Down BG16. These are fairly expensive, not a budget grip. They're about $30 each, but I love this grip because it's really small right here, like an old A1 or even an A2 grip. And I have smaller hands, so I actually like that. Whereas a lot of guys like to have more grip on the back. I prefer more slender grip. That works good for me. Trigger. This is a TacCon 3MR. I understand it's a $500 trigger. It's not staying in here. This is getting a LaRue MBT. I've just been waiting for 4 weeks now for it to show up, and it hasn't showed up yet. But I got that on sale around New Year's for 87 bucks, I think. Couldn't pass that up. So once that trigger's in, that trigger will go in here, and we'll have that trigger with just a standard selector. Mags, I've been running a lot of Lancer mags. Started running these on my 300 Blackout and really liked them. So I'm also running them on this rifle. I haven't found a downside to them yet. And they are the only polymer mag that I have yet to find a downside to. I actually really like these. 4 polymer mag, almost as good as my standard GI mags, which are always my favorite and my go-to. Added a cheap Mo Ford grip rail system. This is a Advanced Armament Corporation square drop rail, and this is compatible with all key mod accessories. Really like this rail because the only bolt that you've got on it is this little turnbuckle on the bottom. There's no screws hanging off of this thing, nothing that can loosen up. And if you want to remove this, you put a wrench on the turnbuckle, you loosen the turnbuckle a couple of turns, and the whole rail will come off the front of the gun if you need to access your gas system for some reason for maintenance. It's just one of my favorite rails, and you'll start finding them on a lot of my AR builds. Of course, the really base model of this rifle, the reason that this rifle is even here is for the Optic. This Optic is the primary arms 6X with the ACSS reticle, the Advanced Combat Sighting System. Got this on an Aero Precision mount. Now, interesting, it's a fixed mount. It's not a quick detach mount. And you see there's no backup irons. Some of you might see a problem with that, and I would too if it weren't for this optic. This optic is an etched reticle. It is not a projected reticle like a red dot. So there's, no matter what happens with this, lose battery, power, electronics, whatever, this reticle will always work. It's always there. And I just don't see the need for backup irons when you've got an etched fixed reticle. This has been done before, but HK had like the G11, I think, program. The Steyr AUG has a fixed reticle on some of their variants. The FNPS 90 has a fixed reticle on some of their variants. So other militaries have adopted that idea in the past. It just seems that we as Americans are a little bit afraid to do that because we're afraid of batteries going dead, and rightfully so. That can happen anytime, especially in inclement weather. Well, this doesn't need batteries. The batteries just illuminate the reticle, but the reticle's always there. So do I really need irons? I don't think so, not on this rifle. So I've gotten away from irons, and what did that do? Well, that saved me maybe $100 on a quick detach mount. It saved me at least another $100 to $150 not having to have quality backup irons on the rifle. So again, by running this Optic, which is a $400 1 through 6 powered Optic, I don't have to buy those other things, and that falls into my budget and allows me to justify an Optic like this. I mean, we're probably looking at, I don't know, maybe $1,200 for this rifle complete. Weapon light, we went with the Olight PL2 Valkyrie. This is an inexpensive light. It's kind of new to the market, but they're actually really nice. This is actually will fit a handgun. Another reason that we went with this light is it's you can move it from the rifle to the handgun back to the rifle. So if you're on a budget, just want one light, this may be one worth looking at. It's a really bright light, but they've got a good warranty, and I haven't had any trouble with it. And I think I actually got it like on sale for like 75 bucks. So I couldn't hardly pass that up. Me and my buddy each bought one, and right now, yeah, they're still kind of new. We don't have a lot of time on them, but we really do like them. So anyway, I think that I've covered everything. We will eventually add a sling. We'll add the LaRue MBT trigger, and we're going to add probably a suppressor mount to it so we can suppress this gun if we want. But I think for those of you that have built an AR, you probably went along these same lines. Please consider some of the things I said, particularly dealing with the Optic mount and this Optic and not needing backup iron sights if you go with something like this. And yeah, guys, got some trigger time on this. It's been a really accurate rifle. I haven't had one malfunction yet, even having taken it apart a couple of times to install the rail and the new barrel nut. Thing runs 100%. So continue to follow me on this rifle, and we'll continue to send you some updates as anything changes. But that's all I got, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Remember, subscribe if you're not a subscriber if you like this kind of stuff, and I'll roll out a video from time to time.